Rep Kahuna is really simple in a way of the workflow and what we want you to do. And I wanted to showcase and make sure you guys understand how to easily set up your campaigns and get on the way to success quickly and effectively. So what I'm going to show here is steps and what is necessary and what is not for the very basic setup. I'm not talking about big customizations. I'm talking, what do I need? Rep Kahuna 101 to start with it. Okay. So first of all, the very first thing, of course, is the agency setup. And here's what you need. Fill the company info, update the agency branding, set up Twilio. How does that look? So when you come in with just your agency information, here's what you need to have handy. Owner info, name, owner email, phone. If you own the agency, that's your name and your details. Agency info, that's your address, that's your email, websites. That's very simple. Client manager. What is client manager? It's the person who's going to be representing the agency in all the notifications and emails. So it could be information for the owner of the agency or the client manager who you appoint to be the representative, or just the regular support, let's say support@marketingagency.com, and that person would be able to, that would be more generic way to represent the client manager. So you start there with the agency information, then you go through agency branding. What do you need to have handy? Agency name, agency logo. Pretty straightforward. You don't need to go over with great customizations here. We have it all ready for you. If you want to update the image, just select the image that looks best to you. But with the very minimal effort, you can just put in your name, put in your logo, and you're good to go. Twilio setup. Yes. It is important to have Twilio, and that's one thing that we covered last week of how to best to get this Twilio set up in Rep Kahuna. The question is, you have to get the Twilio account and details, the token and account SID with the phone number to be able to send SMS messages. We want to encourage you to use this, so go buy a number from Twilio, use it. Even if it looks intimidating at first, it will take you places because that's a really good asset to have. So we highly encourage to go through the Twilio setup for both the agency and the company. And the good part is that for Twilio, if you have your own agency account, you can take over the company Twilio, so you have control over it as well. So it could be one account with one token and number and 2 places that you can cover it up. All right, so that's what you need to have handy. Let's move forward. Now that you have your agency set up, the first step in setting up all the campaigns is to set up the company that you want to work for. So here's what you need to do for the company. Set up the company itself, set up branding, SMS, that's the Twilio we just talked about, and set up locations. A lot of people are asking, why do I have to set up locations for the company if I only have one location? We don't know how big that company is going to be in the future, if that's going to be just 1 or 2 or 5. We want to be able to set up per address and per phone number that company. So if it's the same, we will copy paste the information. That's fine, but we have to go through the location setup when we set up the company. So here's how it looks. We set up the company info. That's pretty straightforward. What do you need to have handy? First of all, company name, email, industry, buyer type, decision maker info. We highly encourage you to create a very basic form that would collect that information. That's when you, let's say they sign the contract with you, the next thing you do, you send them an email requesting those details so you can effectively fill this things out and know exactly what to put under the company name. It's very important for the company name, for example, because we search it up with Google, and if the name is not correct, it will not pull the correct directories for it. That's why it's super important that the name is the one that is on their license, on their documents. That's exactly how it should be called, and then All the other details are important too, just so we know what with which directories to work moving forward. Decision maker information, that's the owner. Most likely the owner is going to be the marketing manager, so you can just click same and get that all filled out automatically. If they do have a receptionist who's going to be playing the role of that marketing manager, you need to ask for it. But for the basic setup, you don't need to do that. Just click same, move forward. That's it. For the company branding, well, again, what to have handy, just the company name. If you know the company you're working with and the name, the official good name that you collected from them, that's all you need to put up here, and you're good to go. All the other things are very optional. You can set up the niche image. If you know that your company is the dentist, it's easy to update that image, but it does not have to keep you from moving forward if you are just creating your company from scratch. No need to be too stuck on those things, customizations. Just click next and let's see what else needs to be done. Set up company Twilio. Like I mentioned, that could be either your company, your agency Twilio account, that way you have control over it, or use your customer's account. If you're using customer's account, it might take a minute or two to figure out for them what to do, where to go, and where to set up their Twilio, but that's going to be in their control for paying for their phone numbers, etc. We would suggest for the basic setup, just use your Twilio account and go with it. Now, next step is set up company locations. If you do have the company that's one location, all of these details are going to be filled out automatically. You won't have to fill out anything. You just look over this information, and here's what you need to have handy. If the location is the same, it's automatic. If it's not, yes, you need to ask for those details from the customer to make sure you set up the correct address for that location and the correct phone number and website. Location manager info, that's the person who's going to be receiving all the notifications for the alerts, for example, for that company and how they're doing. It can be the owner, it can be anybody else, it can be you if you just want to review those things on your own and then connect with your customer, and let's say in a monthly meeting to report on your progress. That's it for the setup of the company location itself. Now the next step would be the setup of monitoring. Here's what you need to have handy. 5 minutes of your time and some patience. If you selected the correct name and the address and the phone number for the location, it will pull up automatically all the directories that have the same information and have reviews. And then we'll be able to monitor them. You can turn on, turn off the monitoring for the directories you like and move ahead. Next up, set up social connections. What do you need to have handy? Just the customer email. If you already set it up in the location or the company setup, you can select who you want to send it to, either location manager or decision maker. This is what they do from this point forward. They connect their social media for you. You don't have to do a thing. You just set it up to send the email to them and move forward. Next up, set up alerts. What does that mean? What do you need to have handy? You need to just decide 3 things. How you want to deliver your alerts, either it's a mail or it's SMS. Who should they go to? Let's say either it's the location manager, a marketing manager, or decision maker. Or how often you want them to go. Instantly, daily, weekly. This is all you just set up. And what kind of reviews, of course, the 5-star reviews that are collected, that would be a really good alert to send to your customer. That's all for the company. Yes, it's quite a bit of steps, but this is pretty much the biggest one of all. So let's move forward with the rest of the details here real quick. Next step is feedback page. What do you need to create the feedback page? If you have no customizations, The only thing you have to have handy is directories preference. Where do you want to send reviewers? Let's say to Google. And the feedback page is automatically created for you, the generic one. And if you just click action and edit, you can add the directory preferences, save it, and you're good on your way. Optional is that if you want to add survey questions, you can go ahead and edit it as well. But if you don't need to do any of that, your feedback page is created for you once you set up the company. It's automatically taking all the information from the setup and feeding it into the feedback page. Let's move forward. Now that we have the feedback page, we want to build our first campaign. We suggest starting with the request campaign. And the first step in setting up the request campaign is get the contacts added. Just grab the list. Here's what you need to have handy. Excel sheet with list of contacts from your customer and the permission to send contacts the marketing emails. That's all. So if your Cheesecake Factory company gives you a list of 500 people, just import your list right here, say yes, I have permission to contact them, and you're good on your way. This is what's going to open next. This is where you set up request campaign sequence, all the emails. We have them laid out for you. You definitely can customize them, but if you don't need to. All you need to have handy on here is the feedback page you want to use if you have several for different purposes, for example, and your imagination if you'd like to customize the templates. You definitely have the options of turning on some emails, turning off some. You will see how the response from the customer's contacts is, but you don't need to go through the length of that trouble. Everything is set up for you from the get-go. Let's move forward. Now that you updated your emails, we will start the campaign. That's pretty easy. You can either schedule your campaign start or start it right away. That's all you need to understand, to decide here. Now that we have the request campaign for people who already were the clients of your customer, now that for the future ones that will come into the office, for example, we want to set up the sign-in campaign. So sign-in is just the page that we will be able to set up from the sign-in dashboard. And all we need to have here, the important part, is the feedback page that we need to refer them to, and your imagination to customize the emails and text messages. It will take you from the page setup to the email setup to SMS setup. Very easy to follow. There's nothing else that is mandatory for the page to work properly. So once you just go through these pages, you have your sign-in page ready, and here's what you do with it next. Once you have it ready, send the sign-in link to the customer. Just have the customer email, grab the link from the top of the browser, copy it, paste it into the email, say, this is the link you have to show to your customers when they come into appointment. That's all. They will take it from there. They will put in their name, email, mobile phone number, and they will be added to the sign-in campaign that you created in the previous step. Moving forward, that's all for the sign-in. So we have the feedback page that feeds into both request and sign-in campaigns. And now when we start receiving reviews and feedback, what do we do with that? We have to market it. So that's what we do. When we click on marketing, we will have a few options: website marketing, social marketing, and video marketing. Here's for the website marketing. Some people get intimidated by it. You don't have to be streaming reviews to the websites. If you have no access to the website of your customer, they don't have a website, and understandably, you're going to be skipping that step. But if you do get they have a website, what you want to do is set up the widget to stream all the reviews, the positive reviews that are coming in to their website. Here's what you need to have handy: the website URL, the feedback page, the one that will be the reviewers will be directed to, and the webmaster's email to send the code. So once you go through these widget setup page, it's just you can see it here, just 4 steps: setup, video, widget, and only on this step, the feedback page is the mandatory where you select the one that you need, if you have more than one, of course, and the URL right here. And once you do that, nothing else is mandatory. You can keep it as is, and send, once you get the code at the end, copy it, paste it into email, send to your customer and say, hey, your webmaster has to put it up on the website on the page of the preference. It could be the home page, it could be the sidebar, could be the footer, depending on your preferences or your customer's preferences. Next up, social marketing. The only thing you need to decide for social marketing, since the social media is going to be connected by your customer, is what kind of reviews you want to post, 3 stars and up, and how often. So the review schedule is the only thing that you need to think about, if it's going to be every day or every week or every 3 days. So we will keep that schedule for you with all the reviews that are coming in. We will use the reviews that were already pulled up as well. So if we found all the directories and there were a lot of reviews, we will schedule those reviews to be posted to social media as well. Video marketing, what do you need for that? Our Rep Video subscription. So that would be wonderful to get another push in the marketing department to have the videos created out of the reviews that come in, and we have this ability to automatically turn reviews into videos. The only thing you need to update here, go to the video options and update the video background image for that company. If they have, that's something you can request from them in your intake form, and the company logo, and everything else is going to be set up automatically. Of course, you can update the title and description, but you don't have to. It's all already good to go. And every review that will be pulled up, that is 5 stars, for example, will be turned into a video and posted to video websites like YouTube and Dailymotion, etc. That's it. Now you have the campaigns running, you have people responding, you are marketing reviews and feedback that's coming in. The last piece of the puzzle is the reporting, because you need to show your customer that you are doing things and you're doing them well. So the reports is the last piece of the puzzle. Under Manage, the reports will give you the ability to schedule a report. You can schedule it for monthly, bi-weekly, 6 month, and you can send it to yourself before you send it to your customer, for example. But at the same time, you have the ability to monitor your results and your success in the review, the collection of feedback and review and online visibility for your customer. That's pretty easy. You just click Report, Schedule Report. All you need to know is how often you want the report to generate and who should report go to, and that's it. And that is your successful setup of Rep Kahuna. It literally can maybe half an hour of your time if you're doing it for the first time and not really knowing where to go. But following this plan, it will be very easy to set up every company you work with within minutes later on, because that's a lot of it is taken care of in Rep Kahuna automatically. All right, well, I'm happy I presented it, and I'm sorry I didn't answer any questions so far just because I was really focused on getting these questions answered. And now I'm going to close my presentation here real quick and go into the question answer mode. Okay, let me see real quick here.